replication. So first we have to see that DNA replication is the conservative, semi-conservative, or non-conservative. So the experiment proof. First of all, I told you what is the semi-conservative, what is the conservative, and what is the non-conservative. Now, the proof of the DNA replication, whether it is a semi-conservative or conservative, is given by a scientist known as the Stehol. There are two scientists, Stehol and Michelson. Today we are going to study about the Stehol and Michelson experiment. Okay, so Stehol and Michelson experiment, they concluded that the DNA replication is a semi-conservative type. Okay, so DNA replication is semi-conservative. Now, what is semi-conservative? We discuss in the further. So, what they did in their experiment, they took a bacteria named as the Escherichia coli. They performed their experiment on the bacteria named as the Escherichia coli, that is the E. coli in short. E. coli is a bacteria on which the Stehol and Michelson performed their experiment. So E. coli has the DNA. Obviously, E. coli will have the DNA, genetic material as a genetic material. Now, we know that DNA contains the nitrogen base, and this nitrogen base, obviously there will be the nitrogen atom. You have to remember this thing. Then the Michelson and Stehol, in the first step, they grow the E. coli on a medium, synthetic medium, and that medium contains the N15 isotopes. N15 isotopes. N15 isotope, as you know that nitrogen has two isotopes. One is the N14, second one is the N15. This is the lighter one. This is the heavier isotope. So first he grew the E. coli on the synthetic medium which contains the N15 isotope, and you know that to synthesize the DNA or to replicate the DNA, we need the nitrogen bases because nucleotides contain the nitrogen bases. So here, after growing the E. coli in the first medium that contains the N15, they got the result that DNA having the both strand contain the N15 isotope. The both strand of the DNA contain the N15 isotope. In the next steps, they grew the E. coli on a medium that contains the N14 and 14 isotope. Now, they got that after some time, that is 20 minutes, but the replication time for the E. coli is 20 minutes. The E. coli replicates its genetic material in a 20 minutes. So now they got the DNA like this, the one strand, and this is the second strand. So one DNA and second DNA. So they got the one strand contain the N15 and second strand contain the N14. In this one strand containing the N15 and second strand containing the N14 isotope. Okay, so it is the basic technique used by the Stahlhelm and Messelson. So here you can see one strand is parental, that is parental DNA has the N15 and N15 in both the strand, but in the second stage after 20 minutes, this is after 20 minutes, we get the one strand containing the N15 and second strand containing the N14 isotope. So that is the this one strand is newly synthesized and this one is the parental strand. This strand which contain the N15 nitrogen in their nucleotides is the parental because parental DNA contain the N15, while the newly formed strand, that is the N14 strand, is the newly formed strand. So one strand is parental, one strand is newly synthesized, and again in the second DNA also one strand is parental and second strand is newly synthesized. So now we can say that the DNA replication is the semi-conservative, means it conserves the parental DNA in half manner. They preserve the parental DNA, they preserve the 50% of the parental DNA and 50% of the newly synthesized DNA. 50% is parental and 50% is new material inside the DNA. After 40 minutes, after 2 generations, they again found some results. So we will see the results on the next slide. So if you want to take a screenshot, just go for it. Okay. Everyone got it? Or any doubts? Noor, Darshita, Samta, Dipansh, Shreya, Sidna, Shivangi, Aryan, Anvit, Avni, Shugna, Pranit, Akshat, and Meghna. Got it? Any doubts? Okay. I'm going to erase it. And I have to do it again. Okay, so what was the last step? We got the from starting point. We have the DNA which is grown on the N15 medium. N15, then we grow them into the N14. Now we get this was the DNA which contain the N15 and N14. So again, okay, N14 is a normally found isotope of the nitrogen. N14 is normally found in the environment, that is normally found, we can get normally the N14. Okay, so after 40 minutes, it is the 20 minutes. After 40 minutes, we will get some result. Like here you can see it is the N15 and 14, same for this. Now we'll get some result. That is the, okay, in this one, in first DNA, one strand will act like a parental strand. So like we'll assume that this strand is acting like a parental strand. Now after replication, we got a other strand, that is the N. This is the N15 and this is the normal strand, because normally we'll get the N14, and in second use this strand. So here you will get N14, both in N14. Here you will get also N14. Okay, sorry, not clear. Okay, so here you will get N14, also N14. So this two DNA is forming from the first DNA. Second DNA, from the second DNA we also get the same. What we will get? One will act like a parental strand, another will act like a, so this N15 act like a parental strand, and N14 act like a newly synthesized strand, and again N14 will also it will act like a parental strand, and the newly synthesized will be N14. It will also N14, and this will also N14. So they show their results. They from their result, they express the result by the centrifugation in the cesium chloride. So centrifugation, you know that in the centrifugation we will get the two substance at different level on the basis of their density. So we will get a density gradient. In the centrifugation, we will get a density gradient. So after centrifugation, here he performed the first, after this centrifuged cell, he got a bend, it here. This is a centrifugal in this tube. He got a centrifugation bend here, and this bend is for the N15 and N15. Now for the second step, he also done the centrifugation, and he got a bend which is in midway of the test tube, in midway of the centrifugation tube. So this is the midway, because this is the heavy isotope. So he get the, sorry, they got the bend at the end of the tube. Now they contain N15 and 14. So they got a bend in the midway of the centrifugation tube. So this will contain the N14 and N15. After the in third steps, they got a two bands. One band is in midway and one band is in upper part. So this is the N14 and N14, and this band is for the N15 and N14. So we calculated that the DNA replication is semi conservative, hence true. It is clear to all of you. And the heavy isotope used in the scientific is the cesium chloride. Please remember this cesium chloride. It can be asked in your NEET exam. Cesium chloride is the salt of the heavy metal. Cesium is the heavy metal, and they got a salt of cesium chloride for the centrifugation. Okay, have you got it? Noor, Darshita?
Yes, sir.
So, and out you can ask first, because now we are going to start the replication proper. Okay. Okay. In the replication, now you start the replication, and I told you about the central dogma, that we will go for the central dogma and the brief central dogma. It is proposed by the Watson Crick. So in the central dogma, three processes are there. One is the DNA forming its own copy. Then DNA forming its own copy, that is the replication. And from the DNA, we will got the mRNA by the help of the transcription. And from the mRNA, we will get the protein with the help of process named as the translation. Okay. So now start with the replication in the prokaryotic. Replication in your NCERT, it is given for the prokaryotic. So for the replication, we need some enzyme, that is the DNA dependent DNA polymerase enzyme. Now, what is the function of the DNA dependent DNA polymerase enzyme? DNA dependent DNA polymerase enzyme, it is faster and accurate. Now, what did you mean by faster and accurate? Now you know that a bacterial cell containing the base pair like 3.3 into 10 to the power minus 10 to the power 6. So basically, a bacterial cell, if you talk about the bacterial cell, replicate. What is the replication basically? Replication is the formation of the replica. Replication is basic formation of the replica. Replica means copy. The formation of copy of the DNA is the replication. So how the copy is formed, how the copy will form. We will discuss it. Bacterial cell replication time. It is basically about 20 minutes, and we know that the 3.3 into 10 to the power 6 base pair in the bacteria, and we have 20 minutes to replicate it. So it will, and we will try to convert into second, then we will get that 2000 base pair per second. So DNA dependent DNA polymerase enzyme polymerizing the nitrogen bases with the speed of 2000 base pair per second. So it is too much faster because we have a long DNA. We have a long DNA, or the eukaryotes, prokaryotes have the long DNA, and to polymerize the long DNA, we have to need, or we need an enzyme that is much faster and much accurate. So much faster, the enzyme should be faster and the accurate. So the DNA dependent DNA polymerase is the enzyme which is faster. It polymerizes the reaction with this rate, more than the 2000 base pair per second. Okay. So, and what is the accuracy? Accuracy means DNA dependent DNA polymerase, the different type of DNA polymerase, the first and third. Translation. Okay. So DNA dependent DNA polymerase have two types. One DNA dependent DNA polymerase first, DNA dependent DNA polymerase third. So they are responsible for the proofreading. Now what is the proofreading? When the polymerization is over, and we have to see that polymerization done in a accurate way, in accurate manner or right manner or not. To see that, we have to do proofreading. We have to analyze the sequence on the DNA. So the DNA polymerase first and third, they will recognize the, or they will analyze the sequences on the DNA. Like here, we have one strand here, and this strand we have the A, T, G, C, G, G. On the other strand, we will have here P, A, C, P, A, C, G, G, here C. So you can see here is the defect. So the DNA polymerase will analyze this defect. DNA polymerase will analyze this defect in the DNA replication. After the analysis of the DNA replication or the proofreading, the guanosine will replaced by the cytosine. Here. Okay. So the DNA polymerase will perform the function of the proofreading, and after the proofreading, it will correct the any abnormality in the DNA. So DNA dependent DNA polymerase is the fast enzyme. It polymerizes the reaction at a faster rate with a accuracy. It is clear to all of you? It is clear to all of you?
Clear, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then we need some DNTPs. So second thing we need in the application is the DNTPs. What are the DNTPs? So there is deoxy deoxy ribonucleotide, sorry, nucleoside triphosphate. So deoxyribonucleoside or nucleic acid triphosphate you can see you can also simply write the nucleoside triphosphate. You can also written as deoxynucleoside triphosphate. So we have different like ATP, GTP, CTP, and TTP. Means adenosine nucleoside triphosphate, guanosine nucleoside triphosphate, and cytosine nucleoside triphosphate, and then thymine nucleoside triphosphate. So basically, there should be only one phosphate on the pentose sugar. So see here, for the nucleotide formation, there should be only here you will have the nitrogen base, nitrogen base, and here you will have the H and H, OH, and H, then CH2, sorry, OCH, and here you have the phosphate. So it is the deoxynucleoside triphosphate. And the bond, you can see there are two bonds. There two phosphate are extra from the nucleotide. So this bond are known as the phosphate anhydride. This bond are phosphate anhydride bond, and they are the highly energetic bond. Highly energetic bonds. So if we break this bond, we will get some energy because they contain the high energy. They contain the high energy stored in them. So after if we will break the bonds, release of energy, and this energy will be used up in polymerization reaction. So the energy which we are getting from the breaking of the phosphate bond, this energy will be used for the polymerization by the enzyme DNA polymerase. Okay. Now DNTPs has dual function. DNTPs has dual function. Dual function. What are the dual function? One, after the breaking of these two bonds, now it will be the nucleotide. So it will act as a nucleotide. It will act as a nucleotide, and second thing, it will provide energy. Sorry, it will provide the energy. It is clear to all of you? It is clear to all of you? Okay. Now next. Next is the replication fork. Or the replication fork. So assume that we have the DNA here. And to start the polymerization, we have to separate this two strands. To start the polymerization or addition of the nucleotide on the strand, we have to separate this two strands. One is the 5 prime to 3 prime and 3 prime to 5 prime. So to separate this two strands, we have to give a cut at any side. So after giving the cut, it will separate. Now you know that it is the highly coiled structure. DNA is a highly coiled structure. We cannot separate them easily. So we will need an enzyme that known as the unbindase or helicase. Heli means helix. The helicase enzyme will act on the helix of DNA. Now it will cut the DNA. It will act like a scissor. Sorry, helicase will act like a scissor. Now it will cut the DNA. Assume that it cut the DNA from this point. Now it will form the structure like this. Here you will get a bulb-like structure. Now, if you want to see it like this, 5 prime, 3 prime, 3 prime, 5 prime. Sorry, this 5 prime and 3 prime. Okay, so this is the replication fork. Okay, if you see it here like this, make it easy. So it will you can see here it is the replication fork. Now it will have the priority 5 prime to 3 prime, 3 prime to 5 prime. Now, what is the 5 prime basically? 5 prime is the end of the DNA strand on which phosphate group is free. Phosphate group is free. What is the 3 prime? At the 3 prime, the OH group is free. It is not attached to anything, any other molecule. So we need the OH group. We need the OH group to attach the nucleotide. We need the OH group to attach the nucleotide. So the DNA replication will occur in 5 to 3 direction. Let it be discussed in after some time. One more thing. So your helicase enzyme will give a cut and it will form a replica. Now you have to assume that this is the highly coiled structure. Assume that two ropes are like this. They are highly coiled. If you break or if you try to separate them, if you will, so if you have two ropes which is coiling like this, and if you want to separate them, then they will try to come again in the same position. Okay, so if these two ropes will separate from each other, then they will again try to come in their primary location. So we have to protect it from this thing. So we will use the second thing, that is the SSB. So here we will attach the SSB. They are the SSB. What is the SSB? Single strand topoisomerase. Topoisomerase is the enzyme which release the tension which is due to the unbinding of the strand. Now, once again, what I am saying that if you will try to open this highly coiled structure, then after the opening of the coiling, the two strands will try to come together again. So you want to protect them to recoil. So we will use the single strand binding protein, and they will protect the recoiling. And if you will open this strand, or if you open this highly condensed strand, you will got the tension like this on the distal part of the fork. So to release this tension, we will use the another enzyme, or the topoisomerase enzyme. It is clear? It is clear to all of you? Okay. So, okay. Now here, we have the 5 prime where the phosphate group is free, and we have the 3 prime at which OH or hydroxyl group is free. Now, it will polymerize. The DNA polymerase polymerize the DNA at 5 to 3 prime direction. It will polymerize the reaction into 5 to 5 prime to 3 prime. Now we will use a primer. Here we will use a primer. Now what is the primer? It is the 5 prime to 3 prime. So it is a primer, RNA primer. RNA primer. What is the RNA primer? It is a short strand. It is a basically RNA primer. Sorry, this is the RNA primer. RNA primer. So, RNA primer. It is a short strand. It is a short strand of nucleotides complementary to the DNA strand. Okay, so we need RNA primer. So RNA primer is a short strand. It contains 6 to 8 or up to 20 nucleotides. Because if we want to start we cannot stick the nucleotide directly on the strand. So to stick the nucleotide on the strand, we need a primer, and primer is nothing but it is a short strand which contains the up to 20 to 25 nucleotide, and which is complementary to the strand of the DNA. After the completion of the replication, we will remove the primers. Okay, so primers are the short strand of the nucleotide. So after the primer, then we will add the nucleotide here. Nucleotides, 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 and again it will go like this. Okay, again it will go like this, and you will get a 5 prime. Here you will get a 3 prime. Then this is the only strand. This, but what will happen on this strand? So on this strand, we know that it will move from 5 prime to 5 prime to 3 prime. So here you will need a primer. This primer has the 3 prime here, 5 prime here, and 3 prime will here. After the primer, we'll again add the nucleotide, add the nucleotide, add the nucleotide, add nucleotide, add nucleotide, add nucleotide here. It will elongate the strand. Now, what about, because the progression of polymerization direction is this direction. The polymerization is taking place in this direction. So what will happen to the remaining DNA strand? What will happen to the remaining strand? So we will need a new primer. Here we need a new primer here. It will elongate the DNA. Sorry. We need a, this is our DNA. Now we will need a new primer here to elongate the DNA, because this primer is polymerizing the reaction in this side and it will end here. It will end here. Now to polymerize this remaining strand of the DNA, we need a new primer. Then it will again elongate this DNA up to here, and again new primer, and again a new primer. So we'll need a many primers. We need many primers, and this 5 prime will reach here. So we need many primers. So due to the many primers we use in the replication, we will get a discontinuous strand. This is the discontinuous strand. This continuous strand, and known as the lagging strand. Lagging strand, and this is the continuous strand on the 5 prime to 3 prime. So the continuous strand and this continuous strand is known as the leading strand. Okay, this is known as the leading strand. So you can see here your DNA replication is complete. You will, okay. One more thing. Now we have to attach these fragments on the other strand. So okay, write it, because it is too much messy. So we have to clean it. So write it or take a screenshot fast. Any doubt in this slide? Do you have any doubts? डीएनए पॉलीमरेज क्या वर्क कर रहा है? ओके, सो डीएनए पॉलीमरेज क्या वर्क कर रहा है? आर्यन आस्किंग अबाउट द व्हाट इज द फंक्शन ऑफ द डीएनए पॉलीमरेज इन दिस. सो you remember this, then we added the primer here. After the addition of the primer, the nucleotide are adding on this primers. Nucleotide are adding on this primer. So DNA polymerase is helping in the addition of the nucleotide on this primer, on this strand. It is the DNA polymerase which is responsible for the addition of the nucleotide on this strand. Okay, clear, Aryan?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other? Anyone else having the doubt? Any doubt? Okay. Let it. Erase it. Now we'll draw it again. So here. So this will be 5 prime, 3 prime, 3 prime, 5 prime, and the replication on this strand, 5 prime, 3 prime, and this is known as the leading strand, or continuous strand. On this we will get this continuous strand is the 3 prime to 5 prime, and these fragments are known as the Okazaki fragment. And basically the name of the scientist who discovered the fragments. Now we have to attach this fragment. So we will use another enzyme, that is the ligase enzyme. Ligase enzyme, it will add these fragments, and we will get a continuous strand of the DNA. So this is the replication for given you an NCERT. Replication 4. Okay, diagram showing the replication 4. And you can see here, this is the parental DNA, this is the newly synthesized DNA, this is the parental DNA, newly synthesized DNA, this is the parental one, parental DNA, newly synthesized DNA. So DNA replication is a semi conservative. I think it is clear to all of you. Any doubts? Do you get the replication? How the replication is taking place inside the eukaryotes? Shivangi, Akshat, Darshita, Aryan, Shreya, Noor, Pranit. Okay. So in the next lecture, we will discuss about the next topic, that is the transcription. Okay. The transcription is the process in which DNA will convert into the mRNA, that is the messenger RNA, and we discuss in the next lecture of different type of the messenger RNA. So next lecture we will discuss the topic transcription and types of RNA. Type of RNA. Okay, so they are the topics for the next lecture. If you have any doubt from the today's lecture, you can message me on my WhatsApp number. Okay, I will try to solve it. Thank you. Have a nice day. What is chromosome? Chromosome.
Yes, sir.
Let's see the chromosome. Where
सर
you
वो
show the
उसमें सर वो सर ऑक्टा सर वो 4 जो मिलके हिस्टोन प्रोटीन सर वो बाइंड हो जाते हैं उसके बाद जब लिंकर डीएनए और वो दोनों मिलके बनाते तो उधर पे सर पढ़ा था
कहाँ पे?
रिफ्रेशर सर, रिफ्रेशर में एक।
कौन सी रेफरेंस है तुम्हारे पास? एबीसी लेकर तो नहीं बैठे हो?
नहीं सर।
कौन सी है फिर? चलो मेरे को वो जो पैराग्राफ है उसको सेंड करना, ठीक है?
हाँ सर।
ओके, थैंक यू, हैव अ नाइस डे।